Good morning, everyone. The New York Nick here. Welcome to Situational Saturday. This is going to be a great experience. I've been looking forward to this all week. Here's my lovely wife, Donna. You look good today. Thanks for joining us for this Situational Saturday. Like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And a couple things before we get started. Number one, since this is a new thing for us, the rules are subject to change. So we're going to work out the bugs, and different times, different weeks, we may do this certain different things and just change the rules a little bit. And secondly, the situations that we have inside these envelopes here, in no way, shape, or form reflect real life people that we know. So don't think we're talking about you and say, oh, they're talking about me, and don't think that it's about somebody else that you know. They're talking about him or her. These are totally made up, right? Hypothetical situations. Okay. So here's the thing. I have prepared 4 situations that I put in an envelope, and my wife is going. You're going to go first, right?
I guess.
Here you go. You go first. Since I'm doing the talking.
This is his brainchild. Was Nick's idea of this little.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun anyway. So I think you're.
It's totally unrehearsed.
Right.
It's I don't know anything in those envelopes.
Well, I mean,
which I don't like.
I respect you. I think you're a very mature lady. You have a lot of wisdom, and I think that you're going to respond really appropriately to one of these scenarios, one of these situations, and then you've prepared 3 for me. Okay.
Yeah.
And
even though I'm not sure if I did it right, but
I have a little bit of trepidation about what you might have written there for me.
You
right.
should.
All right. And so I'm going to shuffle.
Why are you shuffling
them? Because I don't know which order they're in. You have 2 minutes to respond. Okay. Just 2 minutes to respond.
Okay. I feel like this is a test.
All right. Ready? All right. Pick which one you want, and then you have to read it out loud. Okay. Good. Hope it's what's the good one?
Goodness gracious.
Well, I mean,
wow.
I worked hard on those.
But you licked them like I can't even open.
Oh, you're strong. Open it up.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Seriously?
Go ahead.
Okay. I am trying my best to live a life where I don't get pulled down into the drama triangle. However, despite my best intentions, I have a popular coworker who always likes to gossip. When we are in the break room together, I always seem to fall into bad habits by talking about people. What's more, I actually enjoy the conversation, but later feel guilty about it. What should I do?
Okay, that's a good one.
Wow, that's a really good one.
Thank you. All right. Well,
yeah.
You got 2 minutes to answer.
Okay.
All right, ready? Go.
Okay, so I've actually worked very hard on this type of situation because a lot of us get pulled into the situation where you're talking about people or you're gossiping, and it's not something that is really nice to do. So what I've done personally is, in situations where I used to feel either I didn't want to insult the person who's talking about someone, but I probably didn't have enough confidence to say like, hey, that's wrong, and like judge them on the spot. I'm not confrontational. I would just make it my business to remove myself from that situation somehow, some way, make an excuse that I have to, either leave the situation, I forgot how to do something, call someone, make it where I'm not necessarily calling them out, but letting them know by my behavior and my unwillingness to sit there and listen to them that I wasn't really agreeing or approving of what they were doing. Because at the end of the day, it's not a good characteristic to gossip about people. And if they're gossiping about them, they're probably gossiping about you at another time. So that's my 2 cents.
All right. Well, it's good. And you did it within.
Look at there. I have 30 seconds left.
All right. Well, which is unusual that you actually stop short of your 2 minutes, because usually you could roll out 20, 25 minutes. And I think maybe because we're on camera that you slowed it down a little bit. Yeah, I agree with you. Remove yourself from the situation, I think, and somehow let it be known that you're just not going to participate in that. I think, you didn't ask me. I wrote the scenario. I
Right.
think lots of times what happens is that it is judgmental, and I don't think if you contemplate it, we don't, as human beings, have any right to think that we have elevated status over somebody else. And really, everybody behind the scenes has their own problems, and we all have our warts. So, like you said, under a microscope, nobody looks good.
Right.
All right, now I get to pick one of yours.
Yes.
How's it going? How you think it's going so far?
Yeah, it's
Pretty
good.
good, pretty good?
Yeah, I'm not as nervous as I was the first time. So
I wish you would have gotten the other one.
Oh, okay. I can pick another one.
No.
Maybe.
All right, maybe. All right.
We'll see how quick you go.
All right, let's see.
And mine were like, I don't know if that really was what you were looking for, but I'll expound if you need me to.
All right. You talk about me. You glued this thing pretty good too.
Well, I think it's those envelopes.
Nothing but the best.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree. Yellow
See which
paper.
one.
All right.
I didn't want you to get this one, but it's good.
All right. You want to start my? Oh, I got. Let's start it after I read it. Okay.
Okay.
Just hit the stop button. All right. You find a random bag on the side of the road, and it is filled with $1 million. There is no identification whatsoever, and no one in sight. What do you do?
Start.
All right. I keep $1 million. No, I'm
That's
kidding.
it?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I don't know what I do at that point. I'm sure it would be a temptation to want to keep it. It reminds me of a real life story of a guy who drove up to a bank drive-through and found on the side of the road it was like $100,000 in the bag, and he brought it into the bank. Someone had lost it and dropped it there, and it was returned to the owner. But I mean, in this situation, it's different because he was probably on security camera, and maybe he thought about that. I don't know. It comes down to, like, are you a person of integrity? Now, you say you're an honest person and you portray that to everyone, right? And you go to church and you pray and you know what God's rule is about being a person of integrity, and people see you as that. But really, the measure of integrity is like, are you the same person at church that you are at work, that you are in front of the mirror and when there's nobody else around?
Right.
And and if the bottom line is that since there's nobody there, that human being to see it, that God sees it. Right. And so you have to answer to him. So I know I'm quicker. Well, I did pretty good too. So about 38 seconds, 30 seconds.
But would you like take it and then maybe investigate if anyone reported money stolen or lost or something like that?
I bring it to the police station. I let them handle it. I feel like if I do that, then I've kind of done my civil duty.
Yeah. When I was a little girl, I'll just pause this. When I was a little girl, I remember this, and this stuck with me forever. This story that I'm going to tell you was that we were grocery shopping. So it was my mom, my dad, and my sister and I, and we were in the supermarket, and we were going up and down the aisles, and my dad looked down and he found $100 bill. Now, keep in mind, back in the 1970s, well, $100 now to find is a lot, but back then it was really a lot. And so my dad was like really excited, and he's like, "Look at Paulette, I just found $100." Like, he was like, "Let's go out or something." And she's like, you have to return that. And he's like, "Well, there was no one there. I asked a couple of people and there was no one around that claimed it." So she says, "Well, you have to return it to the convenience, to the, what is that? The customer service." And I remember physically, back in the day, they were up on this, like in a box, like up on the, remember that? Like when they were like elevated, like looking out over the store. And
that's been before my time.
Yeah. And so I remember him walking up there and saying, like, he handed the money kind of a little bit begrudgingly, I think, because he wanted to, like, hey, finders keepers.
Well, that was on the scene, though.
But my mom was like, "Hey, you are like teaching them a lesson here. It's not about the $100." And that, I mean, look at all these years, that specific moment in time, a visual has stayed with me where he had to give the $100, where I think he knew that person was probably going to put it in their pocket, and like, why can't it be in mine? But it was the point that he taught us a really valuable lesson, that if it's not yours to begin with, it's not yours at all,
I mean,
period.
reverse the situation. Like, have you ever lost something of value and then it was returned?
Yes,
And then you were
yes,
like,
yes,
oh my goodness, thank you so
yes,
much,
exactly,
et cetera, you know? So, and
exactly.
the feeling and how it restores your faith in humanity
Yeah,
when something like that happens. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know why my mind just drifted. I shouldn't have while you were telling the story, I guess about being in the grocery store, you know, with your family. But I remember going Saturday shopping with my dad to the grocery store every Saturday and going to the A&P. And for some reason, I don't know why this thought came to my head while you were talking. I remember there was like a frozen section in the you know, like there isn't in today's, but there was like this really cold metal pole that went, I don't know, maybe it held up it's not frozen section. It wasn't behind refrigeration,
right.
like glass like it is today. And I remember one thing we used to do is like put our tongue on that pole. And it used to hurt and burn
Like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, your tongue would stick to it, and you like and once you tried it once, then the thing was to try to get your little brother to do it to see if they could do it.
Oh, goodness, what?
I
That
don't,
has nothing to do
had
with.
nothing to do with the story. Anyway, all right. So I think that's probably long enough. I'm going to save these for next week.
Oh, you don't want to do another one?
Well, I don't know. Is it going along now? I mean, people are going to give up their Saturdays for this. Let's try. Or maybe
We'll do one more.
One more. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Hope you get the right one.
Okay.
Which one is it?
I don't know. It's one that wasn't as sticky, so it was probably the last one you did.
Oh no, it's not. It's going to be another serious one.
Oh.
All right. Well, yeah, that's not too serious. Okay. You're supposed to read it.
Okay. I thought my neighbor was a pretty good guy. We lived next door to each other for years and never had a problem. Recently, however, he got a dog, and when he walks the dog, if it should happen to do his business on my lawn, he leaves it there. I have cleaned up his dog's mess more than a few times. Now, what should I do? Okay. So.
All right. This is.
Well.
I want to answer this one.
Well,
this is not about my neighbor, okay?
No. But I have an issue with this because I would never do this.
You would never do your business on the lawn.
I would never let my dog. I would never not clean up after my dog, especially if it was on someone's lawn. So, like, to me, this is, and once a mistake or they didn't look or they didn't have a bag, but if they continue to do this, I would have to I guess somehow figure out a way to say, hey, I don't know how they couldn't be aware of it anyway, but like I would like, could you please tell me why you're letting your dog?
You're gonna question
why, or you can say, hey, maybe you ran out of bags. Like, do you need some bags to pick up the poop? I don't know.
You're gonna hand them a bunch of bags. I mean, come on.
Or really, you don't want to start a fight with your neighbor, but there's laws against this. Pooper scooper.
I pray it doesn't happen. We'll be moving soon.
No,
I don't think with our neighbors
this would never happen here. But it happens to people. I mean, and that becomes a big problem. I mean, people have fights.
Depends on how big the dog is.
And yeah, exactly. I mean, Jasper is little, so it doesn't matter. But
no, it does matter. But
anyway, why did we have to end on poop? Come on, like that's wrong.
You notice I use euphemism. He does his business. He does that.
Yeah,
you're the one who brought that up. But
okay.
No. So
anyway,
that's kind of now. Our goal is eventually. I'm going to stop the clock here. Is for if you enjoyed that, if you want to anonymously let Donna know about a scenario that might even be serious. Or humorous, we would love to kind of address it again anonymously because
we wouldn't use your names, but you can send me, like, if you want to participate. And I was thinking, because we are recording this on Zoom and I was unable to figure out how to stream it live to Facebook, so I would work on that. But also, I mean, I have capacity for people to come in the Zoom room, that I could actually, if you're interested, and I can talk about this at another time, set it up where you just join us in the room, you just dial in and we can actually interact with you. And I think that would be more fun. And you could have previously sent me like a scenario or two, and we can talk about it. And
You mean
and
they would be able to comment about how ridiculous your last response
Yeah.
was to that whole thing?
yeah, like, or they could talk in the chat and say, hey, that happened to me and this is what happened, and it could become a conversation.
Yeah.
But we just really want to kind of just,
Have
share
some
some time with you, and, grab your cup of coffee and chat for a few.
Yeah. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody.
Thanks.
Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye.